So you clicked on this video because you're struggling to improve in Apex Legends. Whether you hit a plateau, need a refresher, or want to take your skills to the next level, I got you covered. These 4 tips will have you on your way towards becoming a much better player in no time. Let's get right into the first tip I want to cover, which is multitasking efficiently. Apex is a very fast-paced game, constantly evolving, and being able to effectively multitask is one of the key elements to elevate your skill. Now, there are many ways to take advantage of multitasking in Apex Legends, and the first one I want to talk about is reloading while closing the distance on a fight. Let's say, for example, you're about to take some shots on an enemy, and after that exchange, you end up dealing 130 damage off someone with purple armor. You look down at your health and notice they only hit you for 50 damage, while you have the same armor. A good amount of players in said situation will then reload while using the cover they had during the fight, then either start to heal or push up for better positioning afterwards. Well, that's not necessarily a bad play, but your time management can be greatly more efficient if you start pushing up beforehand while reloading and gathering positioning at the same time. In this quick example, I hit this Pathfinder for roughly 75 damage without taking nearly any damage. Then I immediately start reloading while closing distance to make a push. You will also slightly notice I have my fists out for a small period of time to speed up my movement. I then resort to taking my weapon back out when I feel as if I'm going to be getting looked at while pushing. Running with your weapon holstered while pushing is very effective, but also risky. So be aware of moments when the enemy might take some shots at you while closing the distance. Having your weapon out while they peek at you is very important to return that damage. The next quick example of multitasking is when you have to heal, but also advance your positioning at the same time. You'll notice ring 4 is just about to close right after I get hit with this sniper shot. Instead of full healing behind the cover that I have, I take one cell, then start moving up. While advancing your positioning, you can also get heals off simultaneously. After my phase, I use the slight downward slope of the map to build sliding momentum and take another cell. From there, I found cover to heal even more. It's all about using the map's features while advancing your positioning when healing, and also being aware of the angles the enemies have on you. So now we know how important it is to multitask when playing. The next major way to improve in Apex Legends to have a leg up on the competition is to invest in a quality monitor. BenQ is generous enough to send me over one of their latest and greatest, the EX2710U. I've been using this monitor for roughly over a month now, and I can confidently say this has helped tremendously to have the upper hand on winning gunfights. Response time is crucial when it comes to making silky smooth plays, and the EX2710U has a 1 millisecond response time without any screen tearing, which is a step up from what I was previously using. Its 27-inch screen makes for a perfect size display for competitive Apex, watching streams, or even editing, which makes my workflow easily manageable. This beast can run 4K at 144 Hz, which is perfect for my fellow controller players out there, whether you're on next-gen consoles or even PC. It also has HDMI 2.1, FreeSync Premium Pro, and HDR 600 to give a beautiful clear-cut image. Built into the monitor, it has 2 2-watt speakers and 1 5-watt subwoofer for those days that you don't want to bother wearing headphones. And yes, the sound quality is very impressive. Let's take a listen in. It's also one of the first monitors I've seen with a built-in noise-canceling microphone. Even though it's a feature I won't be using much, it's still nice to see the innovation to help benefit others that might need it. And one of my favorite features on this monitor are the backside LED lights with 9 customizable colors and 6 different lighting effects. This will definitely help spice up your setup if you're a sucker for LED lights. Oh, and I almost forgot, with all of these features, everything can be controlled with this little compact remote, so you won't have any issues customizing this beautiful monitor to your personal preference. If you want to check out the BenQ EX2710U for yourself, I will have links down in the description box below. I highly recommend you guys check it out. This is easily one of the best monitors I've ever owned or played on. So far, we've covered multitasking when playing and investing in a quality monitor. The third major tip I want to cover to help take your game to the next level is to keep continuous movement momentum. What separates Apex Legends from most other first-person shooters is the movement aspect of the game. And if you're not taking advantage of it effectively, this will easily hold you back when it comes to improving and outplaying enemies. Now, of course, some Legends have more tactical style movement with abilities and ultimates, so I want to focus on movement momentum, which can be achieved with all Legends. To help dodge shots and avoid damage with movement, it's all about keeping momentum unless you get the chance to utilize cover during the fight. Close and medium range gunfights are when your movement needs to be at an all-time high, and the first step towards having better movement momentum can be achieved by strafing towards cover during a bullet exchange. In this quick example, I found an R301 and noticed another enemy player very close to me also picking up his first weapon. As I push this fight, I slide in till I have a decent angle for a good exchange. Then I cancel my slide, aim down my sights, and start firing. Instead of standing in one place when shooting, you'll notice I keep strafing in the direction of my slide. I also start hip firing after I notice the Newcastle is about to start firing back. This will increase my movement speed and help in two ways. I become harder to hit, and I also speed up the time it takes me to get to my cover. Since I will have to reload shortly after with only one weapon, I strafe in the direction of nearby cover to help get my reload off in a safer fashion. Now that I'm behind cover, I can avoid damage until the Newcastle decides to push, in which by the time he gets an angle on me, I will already have most of my reload complete to finish off the fight. This is an excellent way to keep good movement momentum. Now, another way to have fluid movement with any legend is to keep high volume during those ghost times of a fight. Or in other words, those times when you don't have cover and find yourself reloading, weapon swapping, gathering loot, and so forth. In this next example, the roles are reversed. Instead of me having the first weapon at the ready, the lifeline beat me to the chase. To avoid getting one-magged in a situation like this, as soon as I picked up my weapon, I then jumped and slid. You can build sliding momentum without running by doing this, and can be done in any direction of your choice. This will help keep me in motion until my weapon is ready to fire. From there, I keep a slight crouch strafe, send out the shots, then switch my weapons. I did the exact same play with the RE45. I jumped, slid backwards to create more distance, and finished the fight. Building up this sliding momentum works great for moments you don't have the time to run and slide. Alright legends, we've just covered how well movement momentum can help during close encounter gunfights. Now it's time to get into the fourth and final tip to make you a much better player, which is having good inventory management. I've gotten this question asked numerous times in my comment section, and that is how much loot do I carry for each item? Although not talked about all too often, being on top of inventory management is something very crucial when improving. Making sure you have the right amount of heals and ammo will help lock in your focus on the game rather than always worrying about what you need to loot. To start, it all depends on the backpack type in which you currently have. Let's begin with the white bag, which is something I hate having because you are very limited and can force yourself to drop items you may need. When it comes to heals for a white backpack, I recommend carrying 1 stack of batteries, 1 stack of medkits, 1 stack of syringes, and 2 stacks of cells. From there, I typically carry 1 throwable of personal preference, and then this leaves you with 6 open stacks for your ammo. However, based on your weapon loadout, it can vary for which ammo to prioritize. For this case, I have the Volt and PK, 4 stacks of energy, and 2 stacks of shotgun ammo. Now, even if I had the Volt and R301, the stacks will be the same in terms of weapon range. Long range will prioritize 4 stacks, and close range 2 stacks. You always want to make sure you have more stacks of your long range weapon, since this is usually the ammo you send out before closing the distance. Long range fights consume more ammo, while close range fights are usually over much more quickly. Now, for a blue bag, everything remains the exact same, except for adding another stack of batteries, so 4 total bats. Then also adding another stack of close range ammo if using a submachine gun. If you have a shotgun, never carry more than 2 stacks. Just add the extra stack to your long range weapon. With the wingman nerf, I like to carry 3 stacks with a blue bag. Moving along to the purple bag, once again we're adding another stack of batteries, so 3 total. This will give you 6 batteries, which is the maximum I typically would carry in a game. Now the next open slot can either go towards more long range ammo or an extra throwable. And finally, with the gold backpack, the update lets you stack big heals for 3 instead of 2. This means we only have to have 2 stacks of bats and 1 stack of medkits. This allows for 3 more open slots, which I typically use for ammo and throwables, or even an ultimate accelerant if the legend that I'm using requires it. But wait, we're not finished yet. Let's say you have gold armor. This is when you want to convert your battery stacks into cells, and medkit stacks into syringes, while everything else remains fairly the same. Something I prefer with gold armor is to at least have 1 stack of batteries. Yes, 2 cells is equivalent to taking 1 battery, but most fail to realize that even though the timing is the same, 3 seconds for each cell and 6 seconds for 1 battery, but the battery is actually quicker by roughly a second, since the animation for starting and ending each heal does require a small amount of time. Starting and ending a battery is done once. However, while starting and ending 2 cells needs to be done twice. With that said, you are now on your way to having a perfect inventory. Just be on top of knowing what you need before going into death boxes, and this should make your looting experience much smoother. Thank you for spending a couple minutes every day with me. If you enjoyed today's video or found anything helpful, don't forget to leave a like rating. It is always appreciated. Be sure to subscribe, join the Champion Squad for some more valuable content, and if you want to learn how to avoid damage when playing, check out this video here. With that said, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh, and if you're wondering if I got that 20 bomb, sadly, we got seer teched.
Only one more squad this time. Recharging my shields. They spotted me. I'm taking shots.